Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Saratoga Racecourse here on Saturday. It's the 1st of August 2020. We're going to look at all the stakes races on the program from the spot, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and also join me tomorrow for my pre-Rothschild preview from Deauville. Deauville in the month of August is like Saratoga in the month of August. It's some great racing and, great, horses and stakes horses just going to one place and running these incredible races. So join me throughout the month for these Deauville previews, and also join me throughout the month for my Saratoga previews, especially next Saturday with the Travers. But let's get to the stakes action on the Saturday program from Saratoga. We'll be looking at races 5, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So race 5, and then basically late pick 4. Let's get to it right now. The 5th race, it's the Grade 1 personal ensign, $500,000 race for fillies, mares, 4-year-olds, and upwards. 6 quality horses are going one lap around the Saratoga main track, which is 1,800 meters in circumference, with a mile and 1/8 trip on the main track. 1,800, a mile and 1/8 here in the personal ensign. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 6 horse here, who is Point of Honor. We're going to try and beat Midnight Bisou. We'll go 6-4-3-2 in the superfecta. 6-4-3-2 super. Top selection 6 horse Point of Honor. 4-year-old filly by Curlin. George Weaver trains. Javier Castellano was having a little bit of a lighter Saratoga meeting so far against the Mount, but I think it might change today. Most recent outing came 13th of June at Belmont, a mile 16th in the Grade 1 Odkin Phipps, and the horse ran a very good place that day behind She's a Julie. Finished second by a nose. She sat back early, a little bit wide, but she was closing up well late. As a 2-1 favorite, I thought she ran a good race. Not as good as She's a Julie, but still really ran a good race. 2 back in the Apple Blossom Handicap at Oakland, mile 16th, April the 18th. Finished third by 2.5 lengths, and she had basically a very troubled trip. Was way out of it early. She was gaining ground from a very wide trip around the far turn. For her to get third that day, I thought it was a decent effort. Second off the break, and then prior to that, she ran at Tampa 7 furlongs, March 7th in a handicap, an old-fashioned handicap, finishing second by 4 lengths. She at 60 cents to the Dallas, she should have won, but she just kind of stalked and could never quicken up. But I've seen worse. I've seen better races. And then before then, the Alabama here at Saratoga last summer, a mile and a quarter on the slot, finished second by 2 3/4 lengths. She got the Dunbar Road really had the jump on her. This horse was just a little bit wider and just couldn't get there late. Dunbar Road just freaked that day. And then before then, in the Coaching Club American Oak, she placed behind Gurana there. Again, closing up well, but Gurana just ran that better race. I like this horse a lot. She's been training well. 5-2, let's use her. Vextitious doesn't... It wouldn't surprise me if Vextitious gets a good trip here from the inside. It wouldn't surprise me if she sets the pace. She nearly won the Summer Colony last season at Saratoga very nicely, then kind of went backwards in the Spinster, but her race most recent Ruffian was very good. At 5-1, we'll give her a shot. So to recount my selection for the 5th from Saratoga, it's the Grade 1 $500,000 personal ensign. Let's take the 6 horse Point of Honor. Also give kudos to the 4 horse Vextitious. We'll go 6-4-3-2 in the superfecta. It's race number 9. The featured 9th race from Saratoga, it is the Whitney Stakes, Grade 1 per $750,000 race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have only a field of 5 horses, but again, quality 5 horses going the distance of ground of 1,800 meters, or a mile and 1/8 here in the Whitney. 1,800, a mile and 1/8. And something I like about the series for the older horses now at Saratoga, the Woodward's a mile and a quarter, which I think is a great thing. I never liked that the Woodward, you would have 2 races for older horses at Saratoga being a mile and 1/8, because then it's, it doesn't make the fun of it. So now the Whitney being a mile, it's always been a mile and 1/8, but now with the Woodward being a mile and a quarter, I think we're going to see horses really step up well and really go on to run these incredible races at Saratoga. But with that being said, good race here. As a top selection, we're going to take the 3 horse Code of Honor. We'll go 3-5-1-4 in the superfecta, 3-5-1-4 super. Top selection 3 horse Code of Honor, 4-year colt by Noble Mission. Shug McGahee trains. John Velasquez gets the mount. Most recent outing came in the Metropolitan Handicap at Belmont, 1 mile July the 4th, and the horse finished third by 1.5 lengths. He sat back early, a little bit wide, but he was really closing up well. I thought he ran a good race behind Vekoma and Network Effect. Before then, the Westchester at Belmont, mile 16th, June the 6th, it was a mud but very wet track. The horse went by half length and closed up from the back of the pack. Just could have went around another 5 times and still won that easily. It was a good race off the bench. And then before then, the Breeze Cup Classic at Santina, mile and a quarter. The horse finished 7th by 15 quarter lengths, drawn stupid wide, and just had nothing. That track wasn't playing towards his running style definitely that day also. And then before then, the Jockey Club at Belmont, a mile and a quarter. He finished second by nose, but because Vino Rosso was coming out on him late, they promoted this horse to first. And, he still ran a very game effort. Keep in mind, Vino Rosso went on to win the Breeze Cup Classic at Santa Anita race after. And then before then, the Travers at Saratoga, a mile and a quarter. He won by 3 lengths here, and it doesn't get any easier than that. Circling the field, nothing bad about that race. It was the best race of his life. He likes his track. He's 2 for 2 over. He's been jumping and training on it easily. 5-2. Let's use him. Another horse I'd like here is the 5-horse Tom Satan. He's your best older horse right now, I think, in the country. Won the Stephen Foster easily, won the Oakland Mile easily. Finished off 2019 with a very easily win in the Clark. It's going to be his toughest task to date, but at 6-5, I think he can get the job done. He's run very well here at Saratoga in the past, especially if you look at the his race back in July 2017 where he won by 9 and 106 Spire. That was a very good run. Problem is you didn't see the horse for nearly 2 years later, but he's another horse. He definitely could get a piece of it, so we'll use him on the late pick 4. So to recap my selection for the 9th from Saratoga, it's to grade 1, 750,000. Whitney, let's take the 3-horse Code of Honor. Also give kudos to the 5-horse Tom's Detente. We'll go 3-5-1-4 in the superfecta, 3-5 in the multi-race. Let's get to race number 10. Race number 10 from the spots, the Jerkins Stakes. It's a grade 1 event going for a purse of $300,000. Race for 3-year-olds here. We have a field of 11 horses going the distance of ground of 1,400 meters, or the distance of ground of 7 furlongs here in the King's Bishop, formerly named, now called the Jerkins. 1,400 meters, 7 furlongs. And now this race is kind of a prep race for the Pat Day Mile, which is going to be run Derby Day, September 5th at Churchill. So, this becomes a kind of a prep race for the Derby kind of horses also. But, not Derby prep, but Derby Day preps. But still a good race here. I'm going to take the 2-horse 8 Rings as a top selection. We'll go 2-4-5-6 in the superfecta, 2-4-5-6 super, top selection 2-horse 8 Rings, 3-year-old Colt Empire Maker, Bob Baffert trains, Joel Rosario gets the mount. Most recent outing came in the Bachelor at Oakland, 6 furlongs April 25th, and he finished 5th by 7 lengths. He was with him early on, but he hit the wall completely late. I don't know if he was 100% cranked that day. Coming back here off a little bit refreshed, probably a little bit more cranked up than he was last time. I'm going to give him another shot. His workout patterns haven't been bad at all recently. They've been getting better. Before that, he ran the Breeze Cup Juvenile at Santa Anita, mile 16th, November the 1st, and he finished 6th by 12 and a quarter lengths there. He was with him early on, but then he completely hit the wall, halfway home. It just wasn't the day to win. He looked very tired there. And then before then, the American Pharaoh at Santa Anita, mile 16th, September the 27th. The horse won by 6 on the front and all around. The track there, very tiring, was favoring speed, and this horse did everything right. Major improvement off the race before, which was the Delmar Futurity, and he lost all chances basically 16th out of the gate where he got interfered with and lost Drain Van Dyke. Wasn't his fault, but it just wasn't his day to win. But keep in mind, 2 horses that won out of that race went on to win in the races. He won the American Pharaoh, and then Storm the Court went on to win the Breeze Cup Juvenile. So it wasn't a bad. After that, both horses were covered well. And then before that, the horse ran his debut at Del Mar, 5.5 in the main special weight, winning by 6 1/4 lengths. A very easy run. He's been training well to a 7 furlong trip, which I think is really into his wheelhouse. 8-1, let's use him. The 4-horse Echo Town we'll use on the multi-race also. Most recently in the Woody Stevens, he had a very good place after not the best beginnings, closing up well. Before that, it went very easily at Churchill, and his races at Oakland over the winter wasn't bad at all. Let's use him at 9-2 on the multis also. But to recap my selection for the 10th from Saratoga, it's the grade 1, $300,000 H. Jerkins Stakes. Let's take the 2-horse 8 Rings as a top selection. Also give kudos to the 4-horse Echo Town. We'll go 2-4-5-6 in the superfecta, 2-4 in the multi-race to the 11th. The 11th race from Saratoga, it is the Bowling Green Stakes, grade 2, purse $250,000, races for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have 7 horses venturing to the inner turf course, the distance of ground of 2,200 meters, or the distance of ground of a mile 3/8 on the inner turf course, 2,200 meters, a mile 3/8, and the race shouldn't be called mile 3/8, by the way. Something I noticed, I don't know if it was last season or the season before, if you add the run-in for this race to the distance, it's almost a mile 7/16, if not even a little further than that. So it should really be called about a mile 3/8, if not a mile and a half, because the run-up is stupidly long before they start timing. With that being said, my top selection here, I'm going to go with the 2-horse Cross Border. We're going to go 2-4-6-5 in the superfecta, 2-4-6-5 super, top selection, and a single in the multi, the 2-horse Cross Border. 6-year-old Ridgeling, English Channel, Mike Maker trains to having very good Saratoga. Jose Ortiz gets the mount. Most recently, they ran the horse in the Lubbock on the 22nd of July, mile 16th here. He won by 6 1/4 lengths there, and he was basically the horse to beat, and nobody beat him. He stalked, slowly moved his way up, quickly quickened up easily. Very easy race. 2 back in the Manhattan, though, at Belmont. I'm on the quarter, July the 4th. He finished 5th by a length there, and he was with him early on, but, then he just could never quicken up. It wasn't his day. And then before that, up 6-2 at Belmont, 1 mile, June the 3rd. He finished 2nd by length. He stalked from a wide post drop. I thought he ran a good race. He looked like he was about to pounce at any minute. He probably needed the race, but again, it wasn't bad. And then before that, the McKnight Handicap at Gulfstream, mile and a half, January 25th. He finished 2nd by a neck. He stalked, had the lead. Spooky Channel got to him late. Again, nothing bad about that run, but then he ran very subpar in the Fort Lauderdale, where he finished 6th by 1.5 lengths. Really never getting a good run. But before that, he won at Aqueduct very easily over a long distance of ground. He loves Saratoga, and he loves this inner turf course. He's 4 for 4 here, and on this inner turf course, he's a winner of his last 2, winning both times at mile and 8 last season. He's been training well. He's running well recently. At 5-2, let's take him in single multis. So to recount my selection for the 11th run of the spot, it's the grade 2 Bowling Green. Let's take the 2-horse Cross Border. We're going to go 2-4-6-5 in the superfecta, single 2 in the multi-race. Let's get to the Nightcap, the 12th race from the spa. The Nightcap, the 12th race from Saratoga. It's the Caress Stakes. Purse $200,000. Race for fillies, mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 10 horses heading to the Mellon Turf Course, a distance of ground of 1,100 meters, or the distance of ground of 5.5 furlongs on that Mellon Turf Course. 1,100 meters, 5.5 furlongs. Rails are out today at 18 feet. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 7 horse here, who is Dalika. We'll go 7-2-3-6 in the superfecta. 7-2-3-6 super. Top selection, 7 horse Dalika. This 4-year filly here, Alstall Jr. trains. Joel Rosario gets the mount. Most recently, they ran the horse in license via Belmont. 6 furlongs, July 3rd. And the horse finished 2nd by half length. And closed up from nowhere. Really had to turn a foot from the backpack. Stupidly wide. Just missed late. I'll have the cash. Just had the cash late and got it easily. This horse just, from where she was coming from, I thought it was a good race. She's going to see a good pace in this one, and I think she'll really close up well. Good finishing rider. Let's take her here at 3-1 and singular. 2 back and up, 6-2 at Churchill, 5.5 furlongs, May 21st. She won by 2, and again, a little bit farther out that day, sitting back early. Good, strong quarter mile late, final quarter, and getting the job done, winning by 2. Very good run. Keep in mind the second place finisher did win next start out, and before then the Pago Hop at the Fairgrounds Mile on the 20th of December. The horse finished 4th by 5.25 lengths there, and she never really got a good trip. I don't think routings to her liking. Her best races have come out of race at a mile or less on the turf. Looking out before then, the Mrs. Revere, she really couldn't stay late. She had to lead like she was going to win, but the mile got to her. Before then, the Valley View, she was drawn stupid wide. You give her a little bit of a break there, and then she ran the risk verse on this turf course last year, where she got caught late, just couldn't stay the mile. But 5.5 furlongs, a race where she doesn't need the speed, where she doesn't need the lead. She could let somebody else use the speed early on, and she could reserve it for late, where she has a very good, strong turn of foot. At 3-1, let's take her, and like I said, let's single her in the multi, stand it off. So we have 2 singles in this slate pick 4 sequence. It's not going to pay a lot, but we'll have to we'll hope well with the that King's Bishop or the Jerkins. But to recap my selection for the 12th from Saratoga, it's the Caress. Let's take the 7 horse Dalika. We'll go 7-2-3-6 in the superfecta, single 7 in the multi race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everyone.